my channel, you guys. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some more really awesome Christmas DIYs that you don't want to miss. Welcome and thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Araceli and this is Araceli Chan DIY. I would love to invite you guys to become part of the DIY family by subscribing to my channel and hitting the bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, which is about once a week, twice maybe, if I'm able to get that accomplished. As I mentioned, in today's video, I'm going to be doing some really awesome Christmas DIYs. There are going to be a few dupes mixed in there. There's, I think, Pottery Barn and then Kirkland's or something like that, and then just some that I kind of, put together as I was recording. Without making this too long, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the first DIY. For the first DIY, I'm going to recreate this glitter antler cluster ornament that's $14.50 through Pottery Barn. Of course, we're going to do it on a budget by using a Dollar Tree reindeer wreath, and I'm just going to pop the antlers right off of the head. And I'm also going to be using some pine cones from this package from Hobby Lobby. This package was $9.99, but I got it on clearance or on sale, like their fall sale, and I'm sure they have coupons too. So just snipping that ear right off, I'm going to pass some twine through the antler and just tie it up. And then I'm going to also add some twine to the pine cones and just kind of layer it so it's staggered and tie it at the top. And of course you guys can spray paint it if you want. This antler is already kind of glittery but white. To make it more close to the original one, you can spray paint it gold, but I'm just going to leave it as is.
It was the night before.
For this next one, we're going to recreate one of these fabric ornaments. These are also from Pottery Barn. The set is $19. I just don't know exactly what size they were. I don't remember. But I'm going to be using this giant ornament from Dollar Tree as well as a piece of this Dollar Tree scarf. I feel like I could probably use a nicer scarf from, I don't know, like a fabric store, but this is what I have, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue it on there and, just kind of doing it as I go, trimming and cutting, just depending on how covered I want this thing. Obviously, I want it completely covered, but I don't want it to look bulky. So I'm just going to attach a piece of twine, and then I'm going to add a bead to complete the look.
I was closing down for business in my little prison shop when the bell on the door jingled once more.
These ornaments are from Kirkland's, and for the set of 3, you're going to pay $14.99. It doesn't have very many stars on it. I don't know why, but we're going to go ahead and recreate this on a budget. And I know I use my Cricut a lot, but for this one, I'm just going to show you guys how you can achieve this without using a Cricut. So I printed out my graphics, and then I went over it with a pencil, like right on top of there. And then I'm using these wooden rounds that I purchased through Amazon. They're linked in my description through my Amazon shop. And then I'm going to flip that paper over and just go right over that graphic, and you guys will see that the pencil line will transfer over to the circle. And then I'm just going to use a marker to just fill that in, outline it, and then fill it in. Originally, I was going to trace around a piece of vinyl to copy that same buffalo check like the original one, but I just decided to do this with a marker instead. But that's always an option if you guys do decide to do like that vinyl look on there and have it be like a different color or have a pattern to it. And then after that, I'm going to be using this Dollar Tree garland, and I'm just going to cut a piece that goes enough of a piece that's going to go around the wooden round, and then just go ahead and glue it and add some twine.
And then time almost came to a stop, but somehow I knew.
So this is one complete look. You guys can choose to use these as individual ornaments, or another idea is to use it as a garland or like decor on a garland. I have this beaded garland from Dollar Tree. I don't know if they have these or not. I just grabbed a few the first time I saw them, and I haven't seen them since. But as you guys can see, I'm just going to go ahead and loop it on to the ornaments, and that's it.
And maybe so did you, but
For this next one, I'm going to recreate this Hobby Lobby decor that I saw. I actually recreated it for a fall DIY, as you guys can see here. So I'm going to do something similar, but for Christmas. So I'm going to repurpose that Dollar Tree Christmas tree that I used the other day on my Christmas DIY video. And then as you can see, I did 2 cutouts of different size Christmas trees. And then I also used some chipboard, or you guys can use some thick cardboard if you'd like. To top it off, I'm going to be using some of this, but let's see, we have cardstock, we have this adhesive wall tile from Dollar Tree, and then also the pegboard sheets, or is that what it is? Corkboard, like cork sheet. It's adhesive. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue everything on to the trees.
What you came for, and in the coffee shop just next door, we talk for hours on end, and somehow we knew that we'd found something true, and that everything would change from now on. Yeah.
On the little tree, I am going to add some half beads, and I don't remember if these are from Dollar Tree or Walmart. I'm pretty sure they're Dollar Tree, but they're just little strands that I'm going to stick right on there, and I am going to be painting over the 2 smaller trees. So this is just the paint that I'm using. It's like a sample paint. I'm not really sure what exact color it is. As I started painting it, I remembered that this does not paint well. It gets really watery. So I just kind of wiped it off, and I ended up spraying like some primer on it to make sure that the second coat did stick. And then I'm going to do the same thing with just like some flat white paint and paint the smaller tree and the beads. Once everything's done, I'm going to go ahead and glue the trees together. On this one, we're just winging it by using 10 wooden blocks from Dollar Tree. I glued 5 in a row, and then also one of the canvases from Dollar Tree. It's not the one that has the wood frame, it's just the regular canvases. And then I am gonna glue down the strips of the wooden blocks to make it into a stand. So that's gonna help prop it up. And then I'm also gonna be using just one of these little wooden tree stump things to make the tree stump on my Pinecone Christmas tree. And then using the pine cones from Hobby Lobby as well, just gluing from the bottom and working my way to the top. Okay, so you guys saw how I traced a little star there. It's not perfect. It's actually a little wonky, but I did actually go over it with some twine just to give it a little 3D-ish look, which is what you'll see for this one and the next DIY. And then I just took a little branch from a Dollar Tree greenery thing, just took all the little pieces off. I feel like I always stumble over my words. And then just stick them right in between the pine cones.
The wonders of life got the prettiest side for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close by the Christmas tree, glimmering light, I am right where I wanna be. I will be home for a couple of days, wander around with you.
Okay, this one's one of my favorites. I took another one of those Dollar Tree canvases. I printed out a gnome and I just went ahead and traced the form and just, you know, where I want the hat and the nose and all of that to be. So taking the little hat off, I am tracing around my fabric, which is another piece of the Dollar Tree scarf. You guys can use whatever kind of fabric you want, but since I had already cut this one up a little bit, I decided to use it also. So just cutting out the hat, and then you guys can see the two pieces. I'm just going to glue these together and then flip them to the right side again. And you guys will notice which one is the right side. One side is fluffier than the other one. I hope that makes sense.
Stopped running, there is no way trying. You better loosen your belts. Drinking hot wine by the fire. Don't care of anything else. It's Christmas and some kind of love, my friend. I pray it will never end. Do you like to be here too? It's Christmas and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you.
Alright, so now I'm going to take this chunky yarn from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to make what's the start of a beard. As you guys can see here, I did a long strand and then I looped more strands to that one, and I kind of went slow here so you guys could see what I'm doing. So I just kind of loop it, go underneath the long piece, and then just take the end pieces through that loop and back over. Hope that makes sense. I'm just going to do that until I'm happy with the thickness of it. And then I am going to fluff it up by combing it. I didn't want to take it all apart because it was going to be kind of stringy. I didn't want that look. So just fluffed it up a little bit and then trimmed it to the size or the length that would fit the picture. So you guys saw that I glued down the hat onto the canvas and I only glued the back. I left the opening open because that's where I'm going to put the beard. So now I'm just going to put some glue in there and then tuck the beard right through and glue the top of the hat right onto it.
There's nobody at the door. You said I wish this will never be over. Darling, it's time for your present. Come over here. Now it is time to get out in the snow.
Okay, so now I'm going to use these half beads that I purchased through Amazon. They're linked in my Amazon shop down below. So I'm going to use one for the nose and then also the hands. And again, I'm just going to go through the beard and just trim it up a little bit because I do want more of the shoes and the body to show through.
With you, choirs will sing and the joy bells will ring. Nobody loves you as much as I do. It's a wonderful feeling from floor to the ceiling.
So it was looking a little plain, so we're going to go ahead and liven up our Christmas gnome by putting him in the woods. So just using some of the stems from that same Dollar Tree bundle, just going to glue him right on there, and then I'm going to add some moss as well. Oh, and then I also kind of trolled up a little more of that yarn and I added it to the top of his hat.
Drinking hot wine by the fire. Here on our own, we got nothing to fear. It's Christmas and some kind of love, my friend. Pick up some candy canes and hang a wreath on your door. It's Christmas and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. It's just you and me tonight.
Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. I would love to know which one of these DIYs was your favorite, and if in fact you thought they were easy and amazing. I got nothing else, so I'm gonna go ahead and say my goodbyes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. If you did enjoy this video, you guys know what to do. Please help me out so much. Make sure you leave me your comments or questions down below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye.
Christmas, outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. It's just you and me tonight. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you.